What do you notice when you enter a room? What do your characters see? Let's find out on Welcome to Jenn's Writing World. If you have a story to tell, you are in the right place. Let's do it 10 minutes at a time. Well, I hope your story in Camp Nano is going wonderfully. I have to say I have finally gotten to the exciting part of my story. There will be a lot of cutting and editing, I think, at my first act. However, we have found the time machine. Now we're trying to figure out how to use it. It's all very cool. And of course, I get to design and imagine a time machine, and who wouldn't want to do that? Today I want to talk about how setting can help describe characters. Now, we've talked about character and settings being related to each other quite a bit, but today we are specifically going to talk about your main character, probably your POV, and how they see the world. If you look behind me in my office, you'll see a map. You will see cute little shelving displays and my pin collection, and you can't see it right now, but I have other Disney stuff over there. There's a brown chair. It's not the most exciting room in the world. If I lean a little bit, whoop, those are all my running medals on the back of the door. Okay, that's a lot of things to describe. If my office was in your story and your main character walked into this room, would he notice both the map and the Disney? Would he notice the running medals on the back of the door? Well, that probably depends on who your main character is. And this is what we're talking about. Everyone who walks into a room sees different things. If you collect Hummel, and the little cute figurines, and you walk into a room and somebody else has Hummel figurines, you're going to notice it. However, if you think Hummel is just overpriced ceramics, or you don't even know what Hummel is, when you walk into the room, you're probably not going to notice. Or it might be in passing. Oh, and they had some collection of ceramics over there on the shelf. But it isn't going to be something that's going to occupy you enough that you would even comment on it. And so, therefore, we can tell what the character thinks, does, is interested in by what they notice when they walk into a room. Now, you might be like, wait, but I really want to describe this room. This room is fascinating. It's filled with Hummel, or really beautiful furniture, or the tapestries, or anything. I mean, sure, you designed the room for your book, but the reader doesn't care what the author thinks about this room. The reader only cares what the characters think about this room, and the characters only care about the room if it's connected to something they're interested in. Now, you might be writing a mystery, in which case everything's a clue. Why is there a map on the wall? What's the connection to Disney? All of that could be important, and you need to sprinkle it in and out of your book. Well, one way to do it is just info dump it. He walks into a room, and on the left wall there was a map, and in the corner there were Disney animals, and you can do that. Or you can have multiple characters notice multiple things, which gives the reader the information they need, and you're not info dumping it. If you describe a room from the point of view of the main character, you will let the readers know not only what does the room look like, but what the character is interested in. And so you kind of do double duty for one group of words. And isn't that what we always want, to do double duty? I will also give you another hint. It was in my thumbnail. 3 is the magic number. I don't care if everything in the room fascinates your main character. It is not going to fascinate the reader. Find 3 things in the room that the character will notice that are important to the story, and have that be what he talks about. Now, you can spend the whole rest of the story mentioning other things, dropping little bits in. We're talking about when they first enter a room, that first time, that first impression. That's what we're talking about. Gives you an opportunity to set the scene, and it gives you an opportunity to tell us more about the main character or anybody else who is in the room, because they can certainly add to the dialogue, or they can walk around and the main character notices they pick something up. Oh, those people are interested in those weird ceramic people over there. Okay, and that might cause your main character to ask about something in the room that maybe they themselves wouldn't know anything about. And now you have a conversation, and now it's interesting, and now maybe it is a clue. But the reader isn't going to know that if you just info dump on them. Let your readers learn about your characters by what they see in a room. And every character is going to see something different. Why don't we get to writing? 10 minutes will start in just a moment. All right, we're going to try the incline again, because I do like writing in this position. Hopefully I won't fall asleep this time, but we're doing it a little differently. Yesterday I had my feet on my desk, which is pretty normal for me. Today I have my feet on the bookcase that holds my printer, and we'll see how that works. You also might notice you can see my desk here, but I no longer have the bulletin board that I had during my office tour. It had all kinds of phrases and inspirational quotes, and I decided that it was too cluttered, and I wasn't looking at it anymore anyway, so it went away, and now I just have a nice blank wall so that I focus more on the typing than I do on the stuff around me. All right, enough of all this jibber jabber. Let's get to writing. One change, I do have the timer still, but you won't be able to see it because obviously putting it on my shoulder didn't work. So we're just going to set it here. You don't need to care about that. When it goes off, you know 10 minutes is up, and we'll move on with the rest of our day. So let's get writing. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my heavens. 10 minutes are up already. I hope you had a good writing time. I got to finally answer a question I was going to have, which is, are these kids going to have cell phones? And the answer is, well, at least one of them, because I just found a really clever use for them. All right, I hope you had a great 10 minutes of writing. As always, if you feel you are in the groove, keep on going. If you did have a good writing time today and you'd like to do it again, subscribe by clicking down below and hitting that bell. And you'll get notifications whenever I put out a new video. I hope you're enjoying the videos that I'm putting out every day in April. I hope you're finding them helpful. I have to say that I'm certainly enjoying making them, and I am actually getting writing done, which is kind of what I was hoping would happen. Also, if you did write 10 minutes and you enjoyed it, give me a like. I always appreciate it. And I do hope you're sharing your writing with your friends and your writing time with your friends and this channel with your friends. Because as I always say, the more of us who write, the better we all are. All right, it's time for today's quote. And today's quote is by one of my favorite authors, Nora Roberts, who also writes as J.D. Robb. And I love the Eve Dallas books. Here is today's quote. Your characters have to jump off the page. They have to appeal to the reader in some way. Well, I think we talked about that today. One way to have them jump off the page is to have them describe the things in a room that are important to them. That way, the reader can get to know them better. Well, so long from Jenn's Writing World. Until I see you again, write, write, write.